Can you go to jail for speeding 25 over? Just curious. Well, they could charge that as reckless driving, and for reckless driving, you definitely can go to jail. How long does it take for a DWI to be filed in Texas? It's been more than a year and nothing is filed. It depends on different counties. Some counties file them really quickly. Some counties take a long time to file them. There's a process. So typically your DWI goes from the law enforcement agency that arrested you or suspects you of DWI. They review it and then they send it to the county attorney or district attorney, depending on how your county is set up. That agency typically is going to have an intake attorney or someone who reviews all the police reports that they get. Because a county may have a sheriff's department, it may have 4 or 5 cities, and each of those cities may have their own police department. Each of those police departments or sheriff's departments or Texas Rangers, they send all of their police reports to the county or district attorney, and then they review them there. And then depending on how many cases they have, how many people they have in that intake department, it may take a long time or a short time before your case gets prosecuted. What if I ended up having to use a stolen firearm in self-defense as a minor in Houston? Well, if you use a stolen firearm in self-defense, if it's a legitimate self-defense, you will not be charged for the aggravated assault or the assault, but you may still be charged for possession of a stolen firearm. You can commit 2 crimes and have an excuse to one of them, but they will still prosecute you for the other crime. Don't possess stolen firearms as a general rule. Just don't do it. Ticket in 2004 taken care of, now being told it's still outstanding. Any solutions? You know, this happens a lot. We get a lot of calls from people saying, Jesse, I have a warrant. I hired a lawyer 5 years ago. They said they took care of the ticket. Now I'm being told that it wasn't taken care of. Hell, we've had times where we did take care of tickets and then our clients call us and they're like, Jesse, you said you handled this. And we're like, we did. Oftentimes you just go back and find your payment records, right? If you paid by credit card, if you pay by a check, you may still have access to that through your bank accounts. So you can prove that you paid it. If you have any sort of court documentation, any sort of a dismissal, then obviously you want to get that. Sometimes it's just a mistake, a paperwork mistake, and you can easily prove it. Other times it's a little more difficult, but you know, contact a lawyer. A lawyer can usually help you through that process because we deal with this kind of stuff all the time. So it's easiest to do that. It's a lot harder to do it by yourself because you have trouble even getting anyone on the phone to help you track down the documentation. I am a current 3L. Any advice for bar prep over the summer? Good luck to you. And yes, I have advice. Treat it like your life depends on it, because it does. You've gone to school, you know, repeatedly. You went to college, you went to law school, all for this one reason, that you want to become a lawyer. And you can't become that lawyer until you pass the bar. So for whatever amount of time it takes you to prep, that needs to be everything to you. It needs to be the most important thing in your life. Even if you have a wife, if a husband, kids, a job, whatever, all of that needs to be set aside for that temporary period of time so that you can do this one thing, and that's pass the bar. Because you are going to have wasted your time and your resources if you don't pass the bar. Because all of that hard work, all of that suffering, all of that sacrifice will be for naught.